Hi, I'm Thelma. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see by the title, we are going to be talking about procrastination. If you're interested in this kind of videos, please be sure to subscribe to the channel immediately. Why are you not even subscribed yet? Subscribe to the channel right now and turn on your post notifications so that you can be notified every time I upload a new video. If you are done with that, let us get into it. Procrastination has to do with keeping off things intentionally or unintentionally. In one word, procrastination is postponing. In case you have been wondering what procrastination is, it's just the act of postponing. Procrastination is often confused with laziness. Procrastination is not laziness. Laziness has to do with you just deciding to do absolutely nothing, but procrastination is you actually doing other things, but that particular one that you find most unpleasant, you decide to leave that one and do other less important things just because you feel like they are more pleasant. Now we can overcome procrastination by 1. Accepting that you are a procrastinator. You have to come to terms with it and accept it. You cannot continue to deny that you're a procrastinator and expect the problem to go away. You have to first of all admit to yourself, not even to anyone else, but to yourself first, that you are procrastinating, and then you will know what to do from there. Things that you have to do are always piling up into the next day. You are never totally done with things that you have to do. That is when you know you are a procrastinator. Now that you have accepted and you have come to terms with the fact that you're a procrastinator, the next thing to do would be finding the reason you keep procrastinating and tackle that. As I said before, procrastinating is always because you find that particular activity less pleasant. So you have assignments, like a list of assignments that you have to do, but just because being on your phone or watching TV is a more pleasant thing to do, so you prefer to do that one instead of you to do the assignment that you find hard that is due tomorrow. It can also be because your to-do lists are always too long, so you have to set realistic expectations in your to-do list. And while you create this to-do list and want to begin with your tasks, always look at the end result, the end product, what you're going to gain from doing this thing. When you focus more on that, you will not focus your mind on the fact that it is unpleasant or it is too much for you to achieve. So when you set your goals, set them to be realistic. Make sure that your to-do lists are short, straight to the point, and just easy for you to achieve, so that you are not overwhelmed with tasks and then at the end you just end up leaving everything because it's too much for you to do. If you know that you're a chronic procrastinator like me, you can promise yourself a reward at the end. So you can after creating your to-do list, you set your goal. After you set your goal, you place at the back of your mind that if you are able to do this, if you're able to do that before so time, you are going to get so reward. Now your mind and your body is already programmed, you have already put your mind that if I finish doing this thing, if I finish this particular task before this particular date, you have to set a date so that you can actually do the task. You're going to buy a very big plate of ice cream. So when you set those small rewards, just little things that you can afford, don't go and promise yourself a car that if you finish this particular thing, you're going to give yourself a car. Even you are promising it to yourself anyway, so you know that you're not going to be able to afford it. So it's just going to be I beg, I won't get car. Set a realistic reward that when you finish this thing, you're going to reward yourself with so thing. Your body knows you can afford it, your mind knows you can afford it, so you're going to be pushed to do that thing so you can get the reward at the end. And here you also need to exercise self-discipline, because you own yourself, you're the one that promises reward to yourself. So you have to bear in mind that when you don't finish that task before that day, you don't give yourself that reward. If you give yourself the reward, the whole purpose has been defeated. Now to the next way that you can stop procrastinating. Ask someone to remind you and ask you about that particular task that you want to perform, or that assignment, or that job that you want to do. You can get your friend, your family member, anybody at all, and tell them to ask you from time to time about the task. It's going to be like a reminder, but in human form, and I feel like that is the best kind of reminder. So when somebody comes up to you and be like, Thelma, have you finished sewing that dress? You'll be like, oh yeah. You have to drop whatever it is that you are doing that is not as important as that one and actually go and start doing it. So by this way you can overcome procrastination and you actually have a more productive day. Another thing is that immediately it arises, you have to do it then. Immediately it comes up, tackle it and let it be over. Do not let things pile up. Immediately that assignment comes, immediately that project comes up, as long as you don't have anything as important or more important than it, do it immediately. Don't wait, don't allow it to sit down and pile, don't leave it till later. If you don't do it immediately and it piles up like that, at the end you still have to procrastinate, because now you have a lot of things to do and not enough time, not enough motivation, due to the fact that the work is already too very much. As I said before, when writing your to-do list, make them realistic. That was, I think, point 2 or 3. One of them though. But another thing I want to cite is you have to write it according to the most important, and then do it according to the most important. Most of the time you're procrastinating because the most important ones are the hardest or more unpleasant ones, but you have to force yourself, you have to discipline yourself, because overcoming procrastination has a lot to do with discipline. It has to do with disciplining yourself to know when you're supposed to stop the less important one and start doing the most important and relevant things. So do the ones that are more relevant, more important, and nearest in being due first, and then work your way down to the less important and the ones that are farther away in being submitted. I don't know if you understand me. Now this one has to do with the last point. I think I might have touched it, but I'm just going to say it for clearer clarification, better understanding. I'm just going to say for better understanding, start with the ones you find most unpleasant. Do the more unpleasant ones first. When you do them, you are left with the more, nicer, easier, more peaceful tasks. Another thing is to work with time. I know I've already hinted at this at another point, but I'm going to say it again. I'm telling you now to work with time. Set a time goal for yourself. If you don't set up a time that you want the task to be finished by, sometimes I wonder if I know what I'm saying. If you don't set up a time that you want the things to be accomplished by, you will just end up still procrastinating. You just end up I'll do it after. You still continue the after. So make sure that you put a time. You can still tell that your friend or relative to tell you at that time or before that time that you want it to be done. If you don't set a time, you'll still procrastinate. So I'm telling you, Thelma is telling you. Thelma is telling you. Make sure you keep to time. Now this is another one, and I feel like it is very, very, very important, and it is to not do everything at once. I know that by now you're trying to stop procrastinating, you're trying to be better, you're trying to do things faster, but trying to do everything at once is still going to make you procrastinate, because it's going to be very, very overwhelming and you're still going to have a lot of things to do. So the best thing for you to do is chip at it little by little. If you have something that's supposed to be I'm going to give you an example with, I'm giving more examples with assignments and school, because that is what I can relate to. So I'm going to give another example with school again, but if you're not in the school setting, just apply it to your own life. So if what was I saying? Okay, I remember what I was saying now. If you have 10 pages of assignment to do, instead of keeping it and waiting for the day before it is due to start doing it, and you're hoping to do all of them in one day, no matter how good you are at that particular subject, it's going to be overwhelming and you will not finish. Even if you finish, you're not going to do as well as you normally do on that particular subject. So instead of that, start it today. Immediately give your assignment today. You start it today. If it's supposed to be 12 pages, as I said, You do 1 page today, 2 pages tomorrow, 3 pages next tomorrow, 1 page the day after, like just little by little. Another thing I know for a fact is a reason for procrastinating is our phones. So us 21st century kids, us computer age kids, we enjoy being on our phones more than actually doing tasks and interacting with people in real life. So leave your phone alone. I repeat, leave your phone alone. Drop it and actually go and do what you have to do. Okay, another thing I would like to say is that procrastination is not always intentional. It might not always be because the person just wants to leave it till later. It might be because of depression and anxiety. If you notice that you have done all of the things I have talked about and you are still struggling to get anything done, it might be because you are depressed or you feel anxiety. So if this is the case, you might want to seek medical help, go for therapy, talk to your mom or your dad. If you are a minor, you can talk to your friend. You're not saying to be everybody want to help you, some people just want to go. So your friend might not really be a good option, except the person is a very, very nice and good human being. The best solution is always your parents, but I know that not everybody have that privilege. So talk to whoever it is that you feel can help you. Now I feel like this is going to be the last point. If you are an overachiever or a perfectionist, you will procrastinate a lot. You always want to get it right. You always want it to be perfect. You always want it to be very, very orderly and just the best. But human beings, we win some, we lose some. You might be afraid of failing or it not turning out right, and that is why you continue to be like later. When you just remember I have that thing to do, it's so hard, I'll do it later. So if you're this kind of person, just bear in mind that you're a human being. You can't always win. That's how we learn in life, that's how we grow. So just remove that fear from your mind, remove that fear of losing, remove that fear of failing from your mind, and just like do it. The worst that can happen is you don't get it as perfectly as you normally get it. Do it when you can, but not like later. No, do it when you can. Immediately you remember it, as fast as possible, but don't try to like choke yourself up. Don't try to like overwhelm yourself. Can only get better. Even though it turns out bad, there's always the next time. Okay, so we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, share to your friends and family. Let me know what you have to say. Anything I omitted in my video, please leave it in the comment section so that I can read it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section and I will do my best to answer you to the best of my abilities. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye.